This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets. Workbook Nuggets was written to be a commentary or study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading the book's full commentary on today's workbook lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some impromptu thoughts and comments on today's lesson and my commentary. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Workbook Introduction and Lesson 1. Workbook Introduction, January 1. The introduction to the workbook tells us that the workbook's purpose is to train your mind along the lines of the companion text. Quote, the workbook is divided into two main sections. The first, dealing with the undoing of the way you see now, and the second, with the acquisition of true perception. End quote. With this brief introduction, we begin our journey. We seek to discover who we are in truth and why we are here. Lesson 1. Nothing I see in this room, on the street, from this window, in this place, means anything. The Course teaches you vision. The seeing that you do with your eyes is not vision. A new way of seeing, a way of seeing reality, is the central purpose of the Course. Of course, the things that you see in your practice session do mean something in the world in which you live your day-to-day ordinary life. The red octagon sign with the word stop means to come to a full stop with your car before proceeding. The vase on your desk, given to you by a dear friend, means something to you as well. But this lesson is not talking about seeing things in the ordinary world. In the ordinary world, the vase has meaning for you, and the stop sign has a meaning for a very large group of people. But those meanings are created and agreed to here in the world of ordinary perception. They are true from a limited perspective. They are meaningless in the reality in which you are being trained to see. In that reality, nothing that you see with your eyes means anything. At this point in these YouTube videos, I intend to give you some further thoughts on the lessons, some impromptu thoughts in addition to what I've written in the book. But I'd like to do something a little different for this first one. I'd like to read to you right from the introduction to the book, because I think it will help to focus us on what the Course in Miracles is, what it's trying to accomplish, and why we are studying it. So I'm going to read right now from the introduction. A Course in Miracles can seem imposing. 3 books, 2 of which are quite long. But at its core, the Course has a single clear goal: to make you realize who and what you are. Spoiler alert: who and what you are is extraordinary, beyond your wildest imaginings. The Course accomplishes its goal by teaching you how to see the world and everything in it, including yourself, from a new perspective. Rather than seeing the world from the perspective of your individual ego, the Course teaches you to view the world from the perspective of the capital S self, which we all share. That's it. That's what a miracle is, seeing from that new perspective. And since the Course is training us to see from that new perspective, it's called A Course in Miracles. Each moment you can see from your old perspective or this new one. Now for the hard part. Amid your insanely busy life, you must remember that you always have the choice of seeing from your ego or seeing with the eyes of Christ, from the perspective of the self, which we all share. The substantial repetition contained in the workbook is designed to make your choice of a miracle, seen from this new perspective, more and more common and eventually automatic. The ultimate goal is for the miracle, the vision of Christ, to be your natural mode of seeing. But the workbook has a more immediate and accessible goal. It simply wants you to remember that there is a choice. Just remembering that there is an entirely different way of seeing the world and everything in it is an enormous step that will change your life. And those changes and that enormous step can be brought to you by your study of A Course in Miracles, and hopefully these YouTube videos will help you on that journey.